I am here with the incomparable Catherine Schuller.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to be standing here and to chat with you today about your career, your passion, all the things that you're involved in. So for those who don't know you, what's your elevator pitch? What does it say on your business card? Who are you? What do you do?
Which day? I have a myriad of things that I do, but it's all under the umbrella of diversity. So I'm all about those outliers, those underdogs, the people who have been shunned from the fashion world, because I was one of the first plus-size models in the 80s when nobody put plus and model together. So I had to break through all of those prejudices about, you know, if you cared about clothing and you cared about fashion, you'd lose weight. You know, that was the absolute misconception that the plus-size woman, if she wanted to be in the fashion world, she would lose weight. So then we'll deal with her. But there's money on the table. It was 45 million women in those days in the 80s. Now it's 67 million. 67% of the population is plus size. So I broke through all that and I got over myself because I said, you know what, this is who I am. And I think I represent more of the population than anyone else. So I got bit with the diversity bug. I think that's the umbrella. Fashion diversity on the inclusive catwalk, because Runway the Railway is my company, and that's really about fashion for everybody. All ages, sizes, shapes, genders, heights, ethnicities, binaries, fluidities, whatever. Everyone deserves to look good. And I take that, it's like tonic water. It goes with everything.
And I think it's so interesting that you say, you know, in the 80s you were the first plus-size model, and I think about today how, you know, the Dove commercial, which was still so controversial, maybe 10 years ago, maybe even less than that, I think to myself, man, we've taken a long time to really embrace diversity. So does that frustrate you at all? Are you finally like, oh, you know, I've been spewing this the whole time, I knew. So, I mean, how do you feel about everything that's going on
I feel like
now?
I was a trailblazer, and I ground broke, but I did it for myself, so it came from an authentic place. And I knew I wasn't alone. I knew there were all these other women and all these other people who didn't feel like they belonged, and that's what I loved to do. So I became, after I didn't have my modeling career, I became an image consultant, because I wanted to teach other people what they could do. It's applied fashion. So that's kind of like the message that you do belong and you do feel good about yourself. And it's frustrating. Every time another iteration comes up, it's like, yeah, I was in diapers. You were in diapers when I was doing that, and you know. But at the same time, I'm glad that the message is getting out there and that they consider me a pioneer and plus size royalty or whatever. I'll take that because people will listen to me because I'm on a soapbox that now is popular as opposed to, oh, there she goes again. Everyone's like, oh, I get it now. So I'm glad, and slow change is lasting change. So we're finally getting there. It's taking a while, but the numbers are there. It's a $22 billion business. The plus size business is $22 billion. So the thing is that I always felt like a fashion underdog, and I kept adding I didn't throw the baby out with the bath, I just added to the bathwater. And now I feel like Mother Nature's the underdog. So that's why I joined the Fair Trade Coalition to find out more about sustainability, zero waste, ethical, fair compliance, factory workers. That excites me now, is bettering the planet.
It's so interesting because you are this fashion forward, you know, almost, I love the title of a futurist. I hope to be a futurist someday, where you knew diversity was the future, and now you know sustainability is the future. And I think it's also so interesting that you've gotten involved with different causes around different medical conditions, because I think that really, especially this year, they say last year was, you know, sustainability broke out, and we know that will continue. But I think this idea of wellness, and I think the fashion and wellness will kind of link together. So could you talk a little bit about that work?
Absolutely. It was funny because I was doing an event, and Max Zadek, who was Luther Vandross's personal assistant, came up to me and said, I want you to work with my organization, Divabetic. And I was like, Divabetic? That that sounds like a cool title. What is that? Because I had just been like come off of working with eating disorders, and it's a very needed cause, but it didn't resonate quite with the plus size women, you know, because it was, I didn't have that much empathy for anorexia, even though it's a dreaded disease and it's a horrible, it's much more, diabetes is much more rampant. And 80% of plus size women have diabetes. 80% of women living with diabetes are plus size. So I figured that was a perfect fit. It gave me the message of wellness with a wow, because we say, be a diva about your diabetes. It's not your grandmother's diabetes. So it had the whole Luther Vandross vibe to it. And so it really resonated, and we got funding. We went on the road. We did Make Over Your Diabetes. My mantra became Glam More Fearless. Do you know your little black dress? So I had a little black dress diva show, and it just has grown and grown and grown, and I really feel like it's the platform that fits the best with my message.
Right. Fabulous. So as a New York City Fair Trade Coalition member, we have adopted the Sustainable Development Goals, and we're kind of highlighting the different goals, 17 of them. So goal number 5 is talking about fighting inequality and really raising women up and girls to have the same opportunities. So it sounds like the work that you do is really kind of spread around and can highlight that goal. So do you have any upcoming events that you're going to be a part of that we can participate in as well?
Yes, there's one a month. I mean, I have Fashion Week's coming up. I'm doing 4 events.
Wow.
March, I'm doing something with Diabetes Alert, World Diabetes Alert Day around escape rooms. So we're doing Escape Your Diabetes, include in. April, I have the ethical, gender neutral show that I'm doing for the Dean's Forum at FIT. So every year I pick a topic and I pitch it to the dean. So I've done plus sizes, I've done modest wear. This year is going to be gender neutral fashion as and it seems to be resonating because of the transgender, the LGBTQ community, and where it's gone, because we're all kind of getting to that point where it's not terribly fashionable to be all that sexy.
Yeah.
You know, sexy is like the
You
new
define your
streamlined.
sexy.
Yes, yes.
You define it, and it comes from within and your confidence, and can you share all of who you are and not just the exterior.
Exactly, and not just the
we're
flesh.
going.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So, and it's just, it's a big business, and I think that the students, the Dean's Forum is done for the students and the faculty on a hot topic. So I feel like the gender, the
resonate with them, for
empowerment,
sure.
all that. There's women's empowerment in there. It's a Venn diagram of all the different minorities that have been, you know, put upon, and here I am championing the underdog again. So
Absolutely. So if people want to follow you or keep up with you, how do we do that?
Runway the Real Way.
Runway the Real Way.
Fashion diversity on the inclusive catwalk. I also started a show called High Tech Moda. So it's fashion and technology and new innovations that are happening that are pushing the industry forward in many different ways, from pattern making to see now, buy now, to sustainability, to just all these different technologies that are happening that we can better, because it's a very toxic industry we're in, the fashion industry. We have to raise that awareness first and then have a solution. So it's like, it's not all gloom and doom. We've got a solution here. You know, so I can't wait to really work into September when I'm going to be doing a big show, High Tech Moda show. I'm not going to say with who, because I don't want to, you know,
Stay
with whom. I don't want to jinx it, because it's right in the works. But it's a pretty big deal.
Okay. Well, you'll keep us on the edge of our seat.
Oh, yeah.
And definitely.
And I'm bringing fair trade with me all the way.
Yeah, and definitely as a Fair Trade Coalition member, we will keep up to date with you and share with everyone near and far how you can get involved with all the initiatives that we have going on. So thank you so much for talking with me today.
Yes.
And we'll do this again real soon.
I know. I look forward to more and better and bigger and
Absolutely.
all kinds of great stuff with the Fair Trade Coalition.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrea.
Take it away, Michaela.